Okay, so something that's been on my mind lately is the concept that people, if you exude a lot of confidence in yourself, then you seem pretty vain. And um if you're pretty self-conscious, then it's also pretty it's looked down upon. I understand that a lot of times, like, I mean, personally, I do like a lot of confidence in the people like I'm with, and it's a little off-putting when you like second guess yourself or indecisive. However, a big issue with growing up, like with eating problems and like weighing significantly like more than like you used to. Yeah, that or like weighing a lot more, being significantly larger than losing weight, is that you have this perception of yourself, especially when you're growing up bigger. Uh, like children, like can be pretty cruel. And by the time you're like 4, they say your personality's formed, right? And so when you like have these perceptions of yourself that like society is like, first of all, society tells you like one way you're supposed to look, and then um when you're around when you're bigger and you deviate from the norm in a way that people um feel like they feel so like I don't want to say like accosted. I can only think of like really hyperbolic like words, but you deviate so much from the norm that like people are so aware of it, and they feel like they need to tell you you're just that undesirable and visually unappealing that like they have to make it known. Especially like I guess when you're like a kid and well, it stems from a lot of things like being insecure and wanting to pick out like what like doesn't belong. But a lot of the times, like you have like a lot of issues like dealing with people when you're told dealing with people one and like feeling a certain way about yourself. Like it's hard to be like confident in the person you are and the way you look and the way you carry yourself when one like you don't fit into the image that society like tells you that you need to, and that people are constantly telling you that they're aware of what you look like and that it's not like something you should be proud of. So recently I was talking to someone that I was with for a while, and I was pretty close to, and he was saying how like, well, for like the way you are, it's really estranging to know that you're so self-conscious. And the thing is, it's like self-confidence, like I think if you're not like reassured a lot when you're younger that you're like doing a-okay and that like you're, what was the quote from Juno, that the like the sun's like shining out of your ass, that you you're not gonna be able to form that quite so easily. I feel like you need to like teach it to yourself after a certain point, or be like super aware of like your assets and like what you need to like work on to feel more or less like you have like more control of the image you're portraying, and that it's not so fatalistic, because a lot of the times like I'm not like super happy with like, I'm like super aware of like what I look like, um in the sense that like I still feel like I did when like I weighed significantly larger, and I'm still like really aware of like what I looked like when I was a lot smaller, like in a weird place right now. And both of them were like super like unhealthy eating habits, but I'm also like really aware of like what people are thinking of me, because like when you grow up, when people are saying like, yeah, we are looking at you, then and like, yeah, you aren't looking that great, is like, well, that's what you just learn to take in, and like that's how you just wind up feeling like from a day to day, um from day to day. And like the thing is, it's like when people like don't understand that you aren't just you aren't sometimes you're born with self-doubt, not like like not like a nature versus nurture thing, but like you're born into like um a family and society and circumstance that you're not gonna be like praised and like it's not so easy to just like come out like dancing and feeling super great about yourself. So the thing is, it's like, what do you like really focus on then? Like, how do you like get back an image that like you never even had? And I think a few things is that like that you can do to be more like confident in yourself is like, a, be aware of the fact that like it doesn't have everything to do with like what people are thinking, because it's like, my like English professor the other day told us that like 30% of the people that you meet just aren't gonna like you. You're just not gonna like jibe with your personalities. And I think that like it's a little comforting to know that it's like some people just, it's just not gonna work out, and that like just onward, you know. And and another part of it is like, know like your weaknesses, you know. Like if you feel like super aware of yourself, then just know that like people probably are gonna be like paying attention to you, but like not so much as they are thinking themselves, I think. Because a lot of the times when people are like super aware of like how you look, it's because they're very, very aware of like how they look in contrast. And it's like there's nothing you can do about that, you know? And so it's like, you just, I feel like it's really difficult to just say like just own like what you do have, but I think it's a good idea to like not put yourself under the like the same pressures that you might, or like feel like you need to exude the same kind of like um confidence that you would if you were like someone else, you know. Like just be aware of like the accomplishments you have made, you know, and take pride in that. And know what you need to work on in like work or like portraying yourself to other people, and how you talk to other people, and like go from there, you know. Like personally, like I had a problem like looking people in the eye and like thinking that like they didn't want to be around me, because you know, when you're kind of like a social pariah for a while, then you're gonna assume that like everyone's like doing you a favor, or like doesn't want to like look at you. But the thing is, it's like, you know, you gotta like be aware that you're like, everyone's human, everyone's basically equal, and everyone has like their own like self-conscious or their self-awareness, and like things that they know that they have their weaknesses and strengths. So it's like, you need to stop thinking of yourself as like um less than, or the way you've like been like growing up thinking, or like, you know what I mean. It like there comes like a certain time, I think, after high school, that you everyone pretty much realizes that you're, oh, we're just humans. Like there are hierarchies, but in like, you know, social standings and social economic status, and um in your job and all that. However, you don't need to, you know, make it any worse than the natural order of like hierarchies already exist. Just know that you have like made strides, and you have made like accomplishments for like who you are, and that should be enough. So yeah, super long vlog about, you know, how confidence like, it sucks when someone like makes an assumption about like why you're like not confident. And I feel like that's what really fueled this for me, because I'm like, well, you know, everyone has their own like struggles, and like how they like think of themselves, and sometimes that's just like interesting. Some people like just don't have to deal with that, but a lot of the times people that have had like eating problems think about it a lot. So that's just my 2 cents for today. What's the date? For March 5th. Okay.